Welcome back. Another episode of Real Talk with Berkley. We're going to go over what I had promised earlier this week. I'm going to just show you a couple things I use when fishing from the shore. We're going to talk about fishing for big cats. It's a totally different setup than what you're used to for just using a pickerel rig for multi-species. So let's get into the catfish rig here. I'm going to show you the rod first. What I have here is the Berkley Big Game. It's 8-foot, 2-piece, medium heavy. So on this rod I have a 30-pound Berkley Trilene. 30-pound is plenty. With proper drag and proper knots, you will bring in a 30-pound fish very easily. So obviously we would love to get more than 30-pound fish, but 30 will keep you busy all day. I'll tell you that right now. We got a few of those last year. So what we have on here for the big cats is a catfish rig. You can buy these pre-packaged. There's tons of people out there who make these, so no need to go out and make your own like I do. I've been fishing for cats for quite some time now, so I have preference. I'm going to show you my preference in case you do want to go out and make your own rigs. It's very easy, very cheap. So we'll start with the hook here. This here is a 7-aught Eagle Claw laser sharp. That's a circle hook. So a circle hook is preferred for when you're using a big bait here. You're going to use chunks of goldeye, chunks of sucker, huge shrimp. I'll go over all of that once it's time to actually fish. I'll do another video while I'm fishing, and I'll show you the bait, how we cut it, how we hook it, all that fun stuff. But this is to get you going in case you want to get ready for next weekend. I made it out of 40-pound Big Cat. That's another Berkley Trilene. It's green. You can go clear, you can go smoke, whatever you want. Red River, line color does not matter. Attached to that I have an 80-pound swivel. 80-pound might be overkill, but these were on sale, same price as the 50, so hey, go big or go home. And then we have here a 3-ounce weight. A 3-ounce weight is pretty ideal for fishing the current of the Red River. The Assiniboine can be a little less fast flowing, so you don't necessarily have to go this big. But this is great for getting that bait out as far as you want it to go. The less weight you have, obviously, the less of a cast you're going to have, especially with a 30-pound line. And what we did here is we put a bead. You can see, put a bead there, because when you set the hook on that big cat, you don't want that weight to smash into your knot and break your knot. These knots that I'm using here, I'll put this all into the bio so you can see exactly what I'm using and how I'm doing it. But these knots are improved clinch knot. Once again, that's the improved clinch knot. I use these for every knot I do, whether it be a 30-pound, 6-pound line, doesn't matter. I have not had a knot give out yet, knock on wood, never happened. That's my knot right there. So I will put that in the description of this video, so you can look it up and you can make the decision yourself. There's lots of knots out there. A lot of guys use different knots, so that's my preferred. So that's our catfish setup. Here's that Berkley Trilene Big Game, if you want to make your own. Now, most of you are probably familiar with pickerel rig. So that's your pickerel rig there. Pretty standard, right? So with this pickerel rig, we have the two hooks. Two hooks, a little spot on the bottom for a weight. I'm going to show you a little something here. So this is your standard pickerel rig. Gets messed up everywhere. I alter these myself as well. This one is standard factory here. It's got the little gold hooks on it. When I get really picky, I actually buy my own hooks. Once again, I use an Eagle Claw or a Gamakatsu, and I prefer red hooks. I find red hooks, I get a lot more strikes, and I use my own line. I tie my own line, my own knots, my own hooks, and I find I get a lot more hookups with that. But these are fine. You can use these out of the package and you'll catch fish. So anyways, this is what you'll use on the standard rod. The other rod I showed you was 8-foot medium heavy, 30-pound test. When you're going for multi-species in the rivers and lakes, you're going to go with, a medium action. 6.5 feet, pretty average, pretty common. And I would use a 10-pound test line, because that's going to give you the ability to bobber fish, still fish, cast. It's pretty versatile, and you'll still get the big fish in if you have your drag set properly. Remember, people, set that drag. You got that drag on too tight, you're going to snap line. It doesn't matter if you have a 100-pound test on there, you're going to snap your rod. So make sure you got that drag set. Test it every time. So what I want to show you is a little trick here. This is your weight, and it's on the snap swivel. If you are fishing an area that has a lot of snags and you get frustrated easily, this is what you're going to want to do. Right there, I have an elastic. So what we do is we take the elastic and we put the elastic in the weight. Usually it's a lot easier than this. I picked a really thick elastic. Okay, there we go. You could definitely use a thinner elastic, but anyways, so what we're going to do is we're going to put that through the weight, just like that, and then we're going to put it directly on to the pickerel rig here. So what we're going to have here is the elastic on the rig, and your weight's going to be like that. So what this is going to do, if you get a lot of snags, you will only lose this weight. If a fish takes you down into the rocks, which they do, they'll take you down there and they'll get you snagged. This will break. This will break well before your line breaks. So you'll save your rig, and 2, if you have a fish on, you will most likely still get that fish and just lose the weight. So I found this to be not life-saving, but a money saver. It also works with the Catfish rig. So I showed you the way the weight slides up and down that rig. You could also put the elastic through the swivel the exact same way, but if that cat feels resistance, some of them are really picky. So when they go to pick that bait up, if they can feel that weight because it's not sliding, sometimes they'll drop it. I've caught many fish with this when I'm fishing really rocky waters. Obviously we try to find spots where we're not going to get snagged, but sometimes we go to Lockport and there's 100 people there, so we fish where we can. So remember, take some elastics with you. At the very least you'll have them. You can use them to put your rods together at the end of the day, put your hair in a ponytail, whatever. Either way, very valuable. This was a great trick I learned. I read it somewhere, and it has helped me out quite a bit. So now we'll get down to the good stuff here. So I told you I would tell you some spots to fish. What we're going to do is, if we're going for big catfish, number one, you're going to Lockport. You can fish on either side of the river. I will tell you that the floodway side has less snags. For me personally, anyways, that's what I have found. The other side, which is more popular by the wall, it's fine, but just be prepared to lose a lot of rigs. If you start losing too many rigs, move. They're not all the same rocks, but you will get into a lot of snags. And what you're going to do is you're going to set it up the way I had it there. You're going to have 18 to 24 inches of lead. You're going to use goldeye, sucker, shrimp, prawns. Remember, uncooked. You don't want any cooked shrimp. Cooked shrimp work okay, but the uncooked, those cats go crazy. Now what you're going to do with that pickerel rig when you go fishing is you're going to use what I like to do, 1 minnow and half of a worm. One on top, one on bottom. Alternate, see what you're getting more bites on. Generally you will catch fish on a half of a night crawler. You don't need to use the whole one. If you prefer to use the whole one, maybe you're rich, you can afford that, but go for it. But 1 and 1 is what I do to see what they're biting on, and once you figure that out, you'll be set. Okay, so I realize that my YouTube skills are not polished yet. I stumbled on a couple things in this video. Um, I will outline all of the tackle that I was talking about in the description of this video. And I'll hit you with some more spots here. So if you want to fish within city limits, not too far, you can go to Fraser's Grove Park off Henderson. There's many spots there. Just be careful. It could be very wet. Wear rubber boots. Bring them anyways. Bring life jackets if you're going to have kids around the Red River, Assiniboine River. Basically any water, but those two are, they can be moving pretty quick. Um, you can go throughout Wolseley to fish the Assiniboine. There's a couple other spots in St. James you can hit the Assiniboine. Headingley you can hit the Assiniboine. And the Red River, as you know, everywhere from Winnipeg all the way to the end of Maine, Breezy Point, Selkirk, Lockport, all those spots. You're going to get into the same fish. You're going to catch your catfish, your walleye, your goldeye, your bullhead, your freshwater drum, suckers, carp, everything. So use the rigs that I told you in the video here, and you should catch something. Good luck.